Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Calcio with Reno Z. This is your fellow paisano speaking. And of course, what a great pleasure to have always Mr. Anthony in the house. How's it going, my friend?
Pretty good, my friend. Pretty good. I know it's been a while since we've
I
been able to
know.
hook up for a live, so I was definitely, hoping for the chance to hop on tonight. I wanted to come and, chat a little bit of Serie A, a little bit of Juventus. Has been quite a bit of news circulating the last few days and last week in particular. So, yeah, pleasure and always an honor to be part of this with you, and look forward to chatting, my friend.
Looking forward to, because there's going to be lots to talk about. Of course, we're going to start off with Juventus. Then eventually, I might do the call-in show. So, guys on the chat, if you want to join after, please let me know. And sorry for a little background. My son is screaming, but everything is under control. So, no problem. No problem. So, before we get started here, please put the beautiful likes and subscribe. And let's start off with the chat here. We got Mr. James. Hey, Anthony. We have Anthony Lefleur. Buonasera a tutti, Rino and everyone. Ready to talk some calcio mercato in Serie A. Then James. Hey, Anthony. Ciao, ragazzi. Then, buonasera to you as well, Tony Trim. Then James Trimboli. And of course, your cousin, Matteo. What's going on? So
What's going on?
the chat looks wild, as of course. And let's start. So let's start with Juve because at the end we always end up talking about Juve. So let's start off with Juve, then we'll play the rest after.
Yeah.
So I know me and you have been talking through the chat whatsoever. As Juventini, lots have been going on, lots, especially today. Finally, this telenovela of Sole has been finished. He's going to Roma. A lot of people weren't happy with the price tag whatsoever, but 30, like close to 30 is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And the guy wanted to leave. I know all of us want him to go to Leicester. What are you gonna do? Then we see Giuntoli not happy about the situation, but it seems like he got the job done. Let's start with Sule. What are your thoughts about Sule? Then we move on for the other rumors that has been going with Juventus.
So, getting the obvious out of the way, he's a young talent. He did very well last year in his first full season in Serie A with Frosinone. We all know that. The issue that Juve has clearly is they have one main target that they still are yet to acquire in Cope Miners, and now the second kind of newish target over the last few weeks, Todibo, center back, that they need to try to acquire. And both teams in Atalanta and Nice want to Atalanta doesn't want to sell, but the point is that they got to move fast. So unfortunately, Juventus hasn't been able to sell a couple of the let's say, dead weight pieces in Weston McKennie, Milik. There's more than a few guys we can name off that we would like to sell first before moving some of these younger pieces. That being said, a team like Roma, and there were a couple other teams interested, are putting offers in for these guys. So for me, does it suck to lose a guy like Sule? Of course. But when you have the opportunity to get arguably the best or the second best midfielder in Serie A from last season in Coop Miners, and a pretty solid center back. I know a lot of people are kind of up and down on Todibo, but I think he can be a solid acquisition in addition to this team. So in order to do that, unfortunately, you have to make some tough choices. Based on our group chat, as I'm sure you saw today, it seems like more people would like to sell Huijsen first, but he's a little more difficult because he's being very picky. But in terms of Sule, it's tough to see him go, especially for me. I'll be honest, why I'm kind of more disappointed is because he is staying in Serie A. And I was hoping...
I know.
I know you said Leicester. For me, Premier League would have been really nice for him, but I think he realizes that that team in particular is not going to be as strong. Whereas Roma, they're going to be middle of the table, top 10 for sure. Whereas Leicester, you never know. So I see it from the player standpoint. It's hard because, again, as a Juve supporter, you don't want to see him going to a rival team in a sense, right? So
Yeah.
how about you? What are your thoughts on this Sule?
I don't know. With Sule, 50-50 with emotions that I'm not too clear yet. I wouldn't mind seeing him staying with what's his name, under Thiago Motta, but of course we need to sell. He wasn't happy, like he was obsessed to go to Roma, and I wish him all the best. That's all I can say, because with Frosinone he played good, but then we have to see with a bigger team. Of course, with Motta it could be different, but good luck on him. We can always take him back in the future if he does well with Roma. Then I want to see him and Dybala together. That will be interesting. So yeah, and yeah. Then when you were saying about Hussein, I was saying on the group chat as well, the AJC chat, boys. I'm pretty sure you guys know. With Hussein, I'm not happy to. It seems like he wants to go to Real Madrid. Like, where you want to go, kid? Like, I understand why people are mad.
He hasn't really proven much, like, to be fair. And last season, yes, he went to Roma for the second half of the season, but he didn't play that well. So I was just going to say I know James is asking, what is the sell-on figure?
Yes,
so there is a percentage in there. I've seen anything from as low as 10 and as high as 20. So it's going to be in between 10 and 20%, but I think it's closer to 10. So it's not it's not a lot, but
I think 10%. Let me see.
They are getting
posted.
They are going to be getting 30 million in total because it's 26 up front with 4 and bonuses. So but I believe 10%. The sell on is 10. Yeah. So
you're right.
It's again, it's tough. Like, trust me, I get why Juventus fans would be upset about selling these young players, because the whole point of next gen was to bring these guys up eventually. But again, when you have, for me, he's the best midfielder in Serie A. But I understand the Interisti are going to argue and say Barella. Okay, I'll give them Barella. That's fine. But if not, Koop Miners is the second best midfielder in Serie A. So if you can get him, you got to get him, and quick.
That's
as quickly as you can.
So because soon.
The biggest thing is because they can't sell McKennie. They can't sell, like, right now they're having a hard time. If they could sell those guys, then you can take your time with a Sule and a Huijsen. But it's, unfortunately, they're making it difficult. So,
exactly, because when it comes to us, there's always difficulty, in Italy, getting players. We've seen with Calafiori and whatsoever, and I'm hoping we get this deal done with Koop Miners. I know people were upset having to leave. I said, well, as long as we get Koop Miners. And I know a lot of fans out there, the so-called Allegriani, are saying, oh, but if Allegri was here taking off all these young talents, you would put the blame on. Can we stop with this Allegri thing? The reason why they're getting rid of these young talents because it's not on their project, But things will change in that department, unfortunately. When it comes to Allegri,
I don't know.
No, go ahead. Sorry, bro.
No. I was just gonna say, I was reading Roberto's comment. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, I was gonna go through the comments.
Yeah.
Maiko Valero, buonasera da Lanciano, Abruzzo. I 3 agosto tutti a Pescara. E magari, I wish I can go to Pescara, but beato te, caro Valero, he's going to Pescara 3 agosto. It's gonna be the game in Pescara. Wow, it's 1 hour from me. I wish I was there. Now, Matteo, who thinks he's a prime Polio. Bro needs to relax. I agree with you, Matteo. I totally agree with you. Players like that, they should be leaving. He's kind of like Chiesi. He thinks to be some the peer or something, which he's not. Now, Roberto, Juventus does not know what to do. They bought players from weaker teams, and injury-prone players. I don't know what to buy all the wrong player. I don't want to buy all the wrong players. And then they sold Soule, one of their top players. Hold on a second. You talk about we're buying cheap players. Well, what about you guys? We will talk about Milan. Straninia is the only good guy option you got. You got Morata. I know Anthony's not happy about it, but we have to see what it's gonna do under Fonseca. You guys don't have a project, so I don't know what you're talking about,
You know what that
Roberto.
sounds like to me, Reno? That's the sound
Yeah,
of fear. Fear in the eyes of the
that
other
is the
team,
sound.
the other supporters,
Yes,
because they
he's
know
one
that
of them.
Juve's gotten stronger. And hey, it's okay to admit that Juve's gotten stronger. But again, like we always say, we have to see on the field, right? So just because they
Well,
signed all these guys, they have to prove it also on the field. So we're excited naturally, right? But let's wait and see. Let's see what happens on the field, right?
yeah, but excuse me. Last year, everybody, all of you were complaining that Juntuli was didn't do nothing. The only one player we got is Weah and Akaras. Now that we get all these players before the Mercado, you guys are
Mm.
still complaining. And for once, can we be happy? Because in 5 years, last 5 years, after Ronaldo, it was done with Juventus. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
What can I say? Lazio have signed four black players. Not sure how many matches we will be playing with the empty stadium. I don't know, bro. Sorry to hear that. I did not notice, but I
Jeez.
don't know. Man, 10, 20 isn't bad with bonuses. I think it's a fluke season on all or nothing releg- relegation team. It may not happen again. Next gen is our new piggy thing.
Yeah.
Rovell will be the best. I guess I haven't followed too much Lazio, so I know there was some. I did post it on Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, Orazio's in the house, guys. So if you hear that noise, but don't worry. Coopis is the second best mid in the league. Bravo, Matteo. Now moving
Yeah,
on,
for sure.
Anthony. When you have opportunity to get minors, I understand you guys would sell Sule.
Yeah. See?
So yeah,
Yeah. He
well, Anthony,
understands.
he's the only good Milanista in this chat at this moment. Roberto, I'm sorry, man. It shouldn't be too hard to sell McKenny. I don't understand that whole situation. I don't know either. He screwed himself over with what's that team? I can't remember
Aston
the
Villa.
Premier League. Yeah, Aston
Aston
Villa.
Villa. Yeah, yeah.
And he's screwing himself again. Like the guy doesn't make up his mind. I hope we get rid of him as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to? I'm pretty sure we're on this comment. You're talking about Coop Miners. He's just another midfielder. He had one good season. He's no better than Rabiot or Samatic. Your organization does not know what to do, really. You want to compare Coop Miners with Rabiot? I'm so happy that Rabiot. What is this love with Rabiot? I don't get it. Answer that, Ant, because you're the expert on
Well,
this.
the best part is he included his new signing Samardzic, or pretty soon he's going to sign with Milan. He included him with Samardzic. Coop Miners is head and shoulders above both of those players. Rabiot, you already know how I feel about Rabiot. I'm happy that he's gone. Let's just put it that way.
Hey, I know James is gonna attack me. We were going back and forth. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that he leaves. But how can you say that Coop Miners is that Rabiot is better? I don't see that. Maybe with experience,
No,
but
no.
no. And I'm surprised that James is saying Coop for 60 is okay by me. I'm
I
surprised you're
don't
saying that, James.
I don't think it's going to be 60 though. Atalanta's asking 60, but there's no
It might go
guarantee that
down.
Juve's not going to pay 60. They're going to figure out
Yes.
something where it's going to be between, I would say on the highest they'll spend is 45. I don't think they'll even go to 50. There's no way.
Yes, that's what I've been saying to James and everybody. The same
Yeah.
with the Calafiori that unfortunately he left. It wasn't going to be that 50 or 60.
Mhm.
These guys believe the thing. I don't know, but I think it's going to be less than 60.
Yeah, well, you got to see,
So,
but I think it's too much. It's too much for a player like that. Like he's good, but he's not 60 million.
yeah. Michael, la Juve prende Galeno de Porto. Yes, Galeno de Porto. That's what I heard. Are we sure we're gonna get this guy? Like I heard today, but Galeno,
He's an option. I don't
an
I don't
option.
know for sure. The thing is, a lot of these players that have been rumored lately, Consensao, Galeno, Adiemi, they're all around the same price, between 30 to 40 million. If I had to choose, I would pick Adiemi personally from Dortmund. I like
Mm,
him the most. I think he's got the most potential and upside. Galeno's, I think, 26 or 27, so he's a little bit older.
yeah.
Adiemi is, I think, 23 or 24 years old. So
Mm.
we'll see. It's obviously he's an option, but between those three players in particular, Galeno, Adiemi, or Consensao, I like both Consensao and Adiemi, but I think Adiemi is easier to get, if that makes sense. Consensao, I think it's going to be a little bit tricky. So
I know I like Conceição, to be honest. Even watching
yeah,
him at the Euro,
yeah,
and then I found out after who is um, his dad is the Porto coach.
he
So
was,
yeah,
he. I
was.
think he left, so that's part of the reason why he's actually available, is because there's
Yeah,
issues with the team and his dad. His dad left, and his
yeah.
dad or somebody in the family is his agent, so he wants out basically. So oh, we might have lost Reno. All right, well, let's see. I'll
Oh,
put
what's
my
going
host
on?
cap. Oh, I think
Ah,
we got you back.
okay, because you were frozen on my end. Sorry,
Yeah, we got
guys.
you. We got you back. We got
Yeah,
you back.
sorry. The
No,
internet
no
connection
worries.
is brutal, but yeah. What you were saying, bro? Sorry that the internet is a caca.
Oh, just about Consensao, like
Conceição.
he's got like family that's representing him, like his agent. So he's gonna leave Porto. So we'll see.
Mm.
But
Roberto, we are built. Milan gonna dominate Serie. Sure, we heard this for years with Fonseca. I'm sorry for Antonio Lifer. He's a good Milanista. I don't see it happening. Nice and Villa, not weak teams we're buying from. True. Justin, shh, rough question. Sheesh. Then we got Raf. Hi
Raph,
guys. Roberto, mamma mia. Juve does not buy the right players. They bought wrong players to project. They should be learning from. What are you talking? What is the project that Milan is doing? Like, are you brainwashed from Ibrahimovic? Like, seriously, Roberto. Don't I can understand Inter has a project. Now they're not buying that much players because they have the full team. But don't compare Milan to Inter. Like, come on, bro. Anthony, you.
they're
I get
also
that.
they're also on a budget. Inter, where they, like, if they want to buy, they actually have to sell first. So they're kind of stuck.
Yes. Yeah.
Milan, you know what though? I will give Roberto some credit here with his team, because I know Anthony also wants us to get
Yeah.
into Milan. So
Okay,
this
get
is
in.
my
Have
whole
to.
thing with Milan. And I was saying it yesterday on Playback TV. If anybody's interested in the chat that doesn't know about us, AJC, we have a new channel on Playback TV. Go check it out. We did a live last night where we discuss all Serie A, not just Juve. So on there, we were talking with Alberto about Fonseca and Milan. So for me, and I
Mm,
think it was kind of like a consensus, we were all in the same boat. We like the players they've brought in so far. If they bring in some Ardzic, Pavlovic, and Morata, good signings. Kind of like last summer, good signings. But what was the problem? Last year you had Pioli.
yeah.
Now you replaced him with Fonseca. So for
I don't
me,
know.
I'm not convinced about Fonseca. Now, that
Bravo.
doesn't mean that they can't. Again, on sul campo, we got to see on the field, right?
On the field.
But I think the biggest thing for me with Milan is going to be how Fonseca's style of play will translate with the roster he has. He's got the talent, just like Pioli did last year. Unfortunately, Pioli's style didn't work out, which is why he's not there anymore. So I'm just curious to see how it will be with Fonseca. What about you? He's the same thing, I guess, right? You're thinking the same as me?
I'm not a really big fan with Fonseca because even with Roma, he wasn't impressed. And I heard he win with the Porto and that other team, the trophy whatsoever. But I don't know if he's gonna do good with this Milan. Then I could be wrong, like you just said, tutto il campo. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that Serbian guy, kind of like. You know my thoughts about Morata. That's where I'm concerned. Morata and the Fonseca. I don't know
Yeah.
because last time with Allegri wasn't great. Yes, maybe Allegri point one. He's the best. I never judge him outside Spain recently because when he's at Spain, Morata's phenomenal. We've seen with the national team. He didn't score that much, but he still put the green. That I call him a lion in
Yeah.
Spain. So we'll see if he can bring that. Then, of course, Roberto, he starts for the French national team, and plus, Juve had no given in the middle of the park with Rabiot. Play Rabiot Milan jersey with Reinders off to his cheek. It's game over. Okay, whatever.
Well,
For
hey,
me, Anthony, I don't like Rabiot. Anthony knows
he
what you were saying.
he's available if they want him. Just got to pay for him. He's a free agent, so by all means, you guys can have him.
Hmm. Anthony, when you guys get to Milan, I have my thoughts on how the preseason is going to. We're going to be there soon. There's so many comments, and it's hard to answer. But Ademi is a good choice for you guys to go off after. We'll see. These are all these uh, names. This is Justin, Jan. I don't know why you're talking. Justin, let me know if you want to join because you talk too much at the AGC chat. I will put, stay tuned, guys, very soon. I'm just going to go through these comments and I put the link who wants to join for the live, the call in. Mia has approached us. Samaris will be the filler of the middle as well. If Fofana comes, our middle as well. Our back and front all loaded with talent. Back, I don't know. That's Milan. That's the problem with the defenders. Hey, let's wait and see, but I don't think so, Roberto. You, Anthony?
Like I said, I forgot about Fofana. I do like him as well, but I have to see Fonseca's style with this team and how they'll
Yeah.
play. I can see some improvement from last year, but they were still a little underwhelming last season, right? So we'll have to see. But to me, this year, we were talking about a little bit yesterday. It seems like from Inter's favorite, we have to say that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I kind of want to throw up when I say that, but it's the
Say
truth.
that I
Right?
know.
But from second spot to 6, 7, it's wide open, wide open. We Juventini like to think we're right there for second place.
Second, yes, I agree on that one.
Napoli, they got Conte.
We gotta be, yeah.
but I was pretty good last year. You remember we did our preseason predictions. I
Yeah,
had
you
them out of
were.
top 4, and everybody was giving me a hard time. And I said, "You watch, they're not even going to make the top 4." Now I didn't expect 8 or 9. I'll admit that, but they didn't do well. Now they bring in a more established manager, maybe Lukaku. We'll see, but it's going to be wide open. So Milan, they have a good chance, but again, we have to see on the field. It's still too early to tell with all the Mercato still going, right?
Yes, the only thing I'm bad with Milan is they got rid of Maldini because they should have kept Maldini because Ibrahimovic, I'm sorry, he's under Cardinale little puppet, and I don't believe a word what he said because I'm pretty sure Ibrahimovic wants to do better, but he can't do so much. If Maldini was there, maybe with another president, it would be better, in my opinion. Now, people can agree, disagree. We got Anthony Azon. Morata is not the only striker we signed. True. You have to get another striker too because if you don't got the Giroud, then we'll see. I haven't heard anything. Just that Serbian guy. Then as well, Samu Chiwazi, watch out for his player. If he starts on the right side and Pulisic plays in the middle and Leao on the left, Marotta up front looks dangerous. I don't know. We'll see, Alberto. We'll see, Roberto. Moving on, Justin, it's Yaz Reno. No, it's Jazz. We got Mr. Pasquale. Pasquale, buona serata. I will put in the link pretty soon. So, yeah, let me leave these comments for after because I want to go through Milan. But before I go through Milan, because there's lots to talk about Juve, what are your thoughts about Chiesa? Now, today's reports are saying that even Arsenal is looking forward, and apparently either he has to accept that contract or si fa quattro passi. I'm afraid that we're going to lose him for free. I know there's a lot of Chiesa lovers on here, so which I am one of them. But of course, if he doesn't respect Junta's decision whatsoever, or if he expects more, I'm sorry. Not it's not going to work out a casa mia in my house. What are your thoughts, Anthony? Like for me, this case, I know we go back and forth with our paisans on the EGC chat, but
Yeah.
especially me on Facebook and on Instagram, everybody's attacking me with this case. So I don't know.
It's changing for me in the sense that I was very strong originally about selling him
Hmm.
because I thought that there would be a market for him.
Yeah.
We are quickly realizing and seeing that there is nobody out there, and it's actually kind of wild to say, because 2 seasons ago he would go anywhere, any team would take him, and
Yeah.
for good money when he was producing. One bad season, going into a contract year, the risk of injury is still there. For me, the best thing for both, I can't believe I'm saying this because I was so on board with selling him. I think he has to
Okay.
stay. He has to sign the extension 1 year.
That I
The,
agree.
the rumor is the offer's 5 million, no higher, no lower. Take it or leave it.
Hmm.
For him, because there's nobody who wants him, as far as we know, um, that's the best interest for the player and the team too, but more so for the player because if he's really that unhappy and he wants to leave this season, next season, whatever the case is, sign the extension, play this year, show that you're the Chiesa of old. Then next summer, we come back to the drawing board. More teams will come in for him, and then you sell him. But he's got no options right now. Roma was the only team that wanted him. Now they just bought Sule.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Right? It's pretty crazy. So for me, I think the best thing for both club and player is to just sign 1 year extension
1 year.
and hope that he plays better than he did last year with a little bit of improvement, a better coach, hopefully a better system that suits his game a little bit more offensive, playing with the ball. He'll show what he's really made of, and then we can move him next summer because he is not going to be a Juventus player for long. I can tell you that much, but
Yeah.
I can't see unless another team like I know you said Arsenal, and I think I even heard there were small rumors I heard
Yes.
yesterday, Tottenham, but
Ah.
I don't I don't know. I don't see it. They're like what would be their offer? 20 million,
Yeah.
25 million? Like Juventus isn't going to sell him unless they get 30 million or more. And then at that point if it's less, it's not worth selling him, right? But again, it's because he's got
Yeah.
only 1 year on his contract. So take the renewal, 5 million, come
That's
show
it.
up this year and go from there.
That's what I think about renewing. But Pasquale kind of agrees with me that he's afraid that it's going to be Dybala Rabiot too. Yes, 100% Pasquale. But we'll have to wait and see. We have 1 month to know if he's going to sign or not. And I don't know. As even James can't wait for him to leave. He thinks he's an Mbappe. On that, I agree with you, James. But what are we gonna do? I know it's a revenge because if Chiesa leaves, you're gonna give me a hard time like I did to you with Rabiot. So it's fair enough. I don't know what these kids today. Like I said, they're a bunch of vagabondi, and let's hope for the better. Besides other rumors of you, we said a little bit Ponceo. Then what's that guy's name? Adeyemi.
IDME, yep.
Yeah. Then nothing much. Then we can leave it at the end. Now, you want me to start this call-in show, Signor Anthony?
Sure, yeah, for sure. It'd
Okay.
be nice to have
Yeah,
people
I'll put
jump
it.
in.
Beautiful. So I'm gonna put the link on the chat, guys. Who wants to join? Just click the link right here. Let me see how this works. So I'm doing the iPad. Okay, beautiful. And yeah, don't worry if you're a Milanista, Interista, Napolita. I'm not gonna bite. I'm not gonna bite. Not even Anthony. So it's all in fun.
No.
Just click the link over there. Then if you guys want to join, if you want to message me privately through Instagram, whatsoever, you're more than welcome. Now we continue on. Then I'll look who wants to join us. Me, Anthony. Not a problem. We'll continue. Speaking of Napoli, I did my video yesterday and last week is of Mr. Conte.
Yeah.
Start off with him that he did a nice speech over there, which for me he was respectful because he said right away, I'm not going to do things that I don't want to do. So it's not just for you, for anybody. Then, of course, people took it to heart because he said that you had your number one Napoli fan, but of course he did not mean it because, like it or not, Conte is a Juventino. Basta. I don't want to hear the opposite. And why I like him because he says what it is and he's professional. But now moving on with the players that they got. Of course, we weren't surprised that Lukaku is at Napoli. I don't know if he's going to be the same when he start with Inter. Then they were looking at today Hermoso, Napoli, like they closed the deal. I posted today through Fabrizio Romano. Oh yeah, officially confirms Mario Hermoso links with free agent Merck. Oh yeah, Napoli. Okay, yeah. So we might have the official soon. I don't know a lot about this guy. Like I heard about him, but I don't remember that much. So we'll see what that. Then they have the other player. Can't remember his name from Real Sociedad. Then who was the
Oh,
keeper?
it was a young guy. I can't remember his name either.
Yeah,
But
Rafael or something, Rafarin, something
yeah.
like that. But then Osimhen is close to PSG apparently. And someone told me that it's official, but I haven't heard anything from Fabrizio Romano
Not
and
yet,
company.
but yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, they need to move Osimhen in order to bring Lukaku. Until
So that's not.
Osimhen, yeah, Lukaku is not official. They have to
Almost.
move. They have to move Osimhen or a striker because it could be Raspadori because I know that he's on Juve's radar as well as an option. But they'll have to move somebody else. But remember, they also, for me, the big signing for Napoli this summer so far has been Buongiorno. That was a very
Buongiorno.
that was
That
a very
one I
good
like.
sign. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was nice. I know a lot of fans are not happy with Di Lorenzo, the way he's played in the Euro. He's staying. They're not happy. Personally, he's a different player with Napoli. I know he didn't have a good season last year. I personally like Di Lorenzo. I think like there is a player there. I get it. He's slow. He gets burned on the wings. I get all that. But in a three-man back line with Conte coaching, you'll be surprised this year. I'm telling you. With Buongiorno in the middle, you're gonna see that defensively Napoli will be better. I can tell you that much.
I see. Yeah, he said that Hermoso was collapsed. But I heard this morning from Romano, things didn't change because with the Mercato, anything can happen.
No.
Then we have Mr. Mike. Osimhen doesn't want PSG. I don't know. We'll see. There's so much talks on.
It's more Mr. De Laurentiis is the problem. I think Osimhen would leave in a heartbeat to go to PSG, but the problem is they're having a hard time negotiating with De Laurentiis, and we know how he is. So
Yeah.
even the Saudi is willing to offer Osimhen a big contract, and bottom line is he wants to leave, but De
Yes.
Laurentiis doesn't want to allow him to leave, and Conte, the coach, wants to keep him ideally. But again, Conte is sitting back because he'll say, "Well, okay, you want to leave? No problem. I got Lukaku sitting there waiting." Now,
Yeah.
different players, obviously. For me, Osimhen is head and shoulders above Lukaku, but Lukaku under Conte is also a different beast. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that one for sure.
100%. And yeah, I even said on my video with Osimhen, with De Laurentiis, it's not easy to deal with. So it's going to be that I don't know if Osimhen will like to go to Saudi right now.
Right.
But with this Napoli, it's going to be interesting because we finally have Conte in Serie A and to see him at Torino with the fans, because with Inter there
Yeah.
was no fans. It's going to be worldwide. I have your back, Conte. Don't worry. But the other fans, I don't know. I'm just gonna sit down and laugh and see what's gonna happen. I can't wait for that game. Like, before I was waiting for the Inter Juve, but now Juve Napoli, it's gonna be worldwide, man.
Yeah, those are both going to be interesting games, though, because of course we have now the connection with Marcus and Kefren Turam and Lilian Thuram. So the Inter Juve matches will be pretty intense. But of course, with Napoli, it's always crazy. And to add Conte to the mix
I
now,
know.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
we're gonna
be
be eating popcorn and joy.
yeah. And actually, I don't know if you saw, but we get them. I think it's match day 5, so we play them right away. Like within the first 5,
Wow.
yeah, because I was looking at the schedule today. I think we've got them either match day 5 or match day 6. So in September we play Napoli. So it's gonna be
Nice.
right off the hop. So it should be good.
Should be good. Yeah, I just can't wait. Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
that I said it's gonna start 2 months, Serie A, but someone corrected me on the comments. It's gonna start 2 weeks. Parfelo Paisano Santino. I said, because I'm still used to the old way when they start at September. So
Right. Yeah.
we have Anthony Affair. He give you credit. Trimble, I get it, Pascal, but as Trimble said, Chiesa doesn't have much options on the table, and he didn't have a good season last season. So Anthony agrees with you, but Pasquale, we'll see. I hope the Serie A season they get a kick in the ass. Napoli, tell them to get the. Wow, you're on the rampage, Roberto. You were like this last year too, but then things didn't work out how it went. We'll see, buddy. We will see. Pasquale, yes, but why he signed for 1 year when he can get more money if he leaves for free? We don't know, Pasquale. We don't know, but as Anthony said and Lefleur, that's the only option he has. Go ahead,
I
then.
know why though, because the thing is he needs to play this season. And if he doesn't sign a renewal, Juve can just sit him in the stands. Is it smart?
Mm.
No. But then who suffers? The player.
Bravo. Spot
So
on.
he has me and Alberto, we go back and forth because lately
Yeah.
he's changed his tune saying that Chiesa has all of the leverage in the sense that, yes, to Pasquale's point, because see, Pasquale's sitting back going like this.
Because
Inter's
he
waiting.
wants.
There,
Yeah, because he wants.
yeah.
It's not going to happen.
But the thing is, again, he needs to play. So if he tries to play hardball with Juntali, Juntali could say, "Okay, you see the stands over there? Go sit down. You're not going to play." So he's not in the project. Yes, that's
Yes, we
true.
know that.
But again, there is no team that will pay the money that Juve wants. That's the best way to put it. There's nobody out
Yes.
there. Unless last minute a Premier League team decides to wake up and say, okay, you know what? Like a Liverpool, like an Arsenal, like a Tottenham, like I mentioned, there were light rumblings earlier this week, I heard about Tottenham, and maybe. But until then, right now, there is no interest. because that's why, like I said, that's why Sule is going to Roma, because originally it was Roma and Napoli. Now Napoli, they nowhere to be found. They're not interested, and Roma's going to Sule, a younger option, right? So again, I understand where Pasquale is coming from in terms of in the best interest of the player, it doesn't make sense to sign a 1-year renewal. But at the end of the day, if the player thinks he is who he is, he has to sign the 1-year renewal so that next summer he can get sold. So we'll see.
Yeah, he's insisting, yes, but he can get less money for more years instead of only 1 year. But is it for sure he's going to get more money from a year now? We don't know.
Well, if nobody's going to buy him right now,
Yeah.
how is he going to get more money next year as a free transfer? He's not.
And
The
not,
salary is not going to be
oh,
more.
and not only that, if he's not the Mota's project, if he's not going to be playing that much, then what? You gotta look at that too, you know. So
Yeah.
I know you're waiting there, Pasquale, but Chiesa is not gonna go to Inter. So no, and even my wife said no. I know, Mike. We go back and forth with Chiesa. Stupid move. No Chiesa, no Sule. Mike, I don't know what to tell you. I know we go back and forth, me and you. Trust me, I do like Chiesa. Yes, I don't want him to leave, but if he has to leave, he has to leave. With Sule, we got some money in, so I don't know what to tell you. But you see, I told you before, Mike, that this was gonna happen, but you did not believe me. So we'll wait and see. Anything can happen. Now, Anthony, what I'm frustrated with is Mayor Sala in Milano because he is still trying to push removing San Siro, and even San Siro has been renovated 4 times before. I don't know. Well, on your guys' case with this situation, it's been years that you guys going back and forth. I have no idea. Um, he will get at least 5 mil times 3 years instead of only one. Okay, Pasquale, what can I tell you? Are you going to answer, Anthony? He's always
Well,
right, Pasquale. So I say you're right, Pasquale. What can I say?
right now, if that was the case, there'd be teams lining up for him. But what I'm noticing is there's a lot of teams that are scared because of the injury, and they could see the way he's been playing. So
Even with
again,
Italy, he wasn't playing well.
I don't see it even with Pasquale's Inter. I mean, you're trying to tell me right now Beppe Marotta is going to sit there next summer and say, "Yeah, Chiesa, you know what? We'll give you 3 years and we'll give you 5 million." There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
They're going to want him to do maybe a couple years. Again, depending on what he does this year. That's why I think it actually does benefit the player. This is a prove it season to prove that you're still at a top level and you can play or get that guaranteed next contract of 2 to 3 years, maybe more. He needs to play and he needs to prove it before he gets the money.
Well, Pasquale is saying, trust me, I wouldn't know where to put Chiesa in Inter's lineup. I heard that from my friend Giancarlo. Don't get me wrong, he is still better than Arnautovic. Well, of course. We'll see about that. Both Milan and Inter need their own stadiums. It's not a fantasy project. You should talk to the FJGG. I don't know. I know you guys been fighting for this thing, but I haven't heard anything. Now you brought this up, Anthony Lafleur, so I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. I as a Juventine, I would like to see separate, so you don't have to hear the Interisti, saying that we own Milano, which technically, no, they don't own Milano. For me, it's always AC Milan. Wow, what a surprise. Sal, he needs to take a pay cut for 1 year extension.
See?
If he
Grande Sal.
performs, then
he knows.
they can negotiate.
Renegotiate. See?
Bravo, Sal. Surprised
Yeah.
that you're here. Haven't seen you forever, but yeah, well, me, Anthony, we agree with you, Sal. So
Yeah.
pretty interesting. I put the link again, guys, so don't be shy. If you guys want to join, Pasquale, you're doing all this talk. Click the link and join with us at the live. Then who else is on here in the chat is open. So yeah, but you see, we're back to Chiesa. with Robert. It doesn't end. It doesn't end with Chiesa. Chiesa can come off the bench. He has to be a starter anywhere he goes. If Chiesa stays on the bench, will cause a lot of problems in Juven's team. Well, not only Juve, in his future if he stays in the bench. And then nobody for sure is going to get him. So we'll see. I don't know. What you think, Anthony? This
Well,
case, it never ends.
I was gonna just touch on one thing that I forgot to mention is people are bringing up that he's not in Motta's plans. Motta's never said that. This is something that just the media has been trying to push there because Giuntoli is trying to do his job as the manager to negotiate the contract with Chiesa or tell him take the extension or we got to find you another option, right? But again, even the agent of the player is not able to find other options. So nobody or Motta has never come out and said to the cameras that Chiesa is not in the project. So this is why I'm saying I truly believe if he stays, of course he's going to be a starter because now they're moving Sule and you have Yildiz. You have a kid who's 19 years old. He's not going to be able to start every game with not 3 competitions. I saw Michael mention earlier 3 competitions. We actually play 5 competitions this season because you've got the Champions League, Coppa Italia, Serie A, Club World Cup, and the Supercoppa. So you've got 5 competitions. Yes, Michael mentioned doesn't seem like there's depth right now, but again, we're still early into the market. Motta also said he wants about 25 or 26 players. So we got to do some rotation, you know?
1 second, Anthony. We have a guest here. I'm not too sure who he is, but I think I know who he is. Let's see if I'm right. Sal,
Hey.
well, how's it going? It's been a long time.
I know. Talk. What's up, boys?
How's it
Nothing
going?
much, just talking, about Juve. This is Anthony. I'm pretty sure you know him, Trimboli.
Yeah,
He's with
pleasure, man.
AGC.
Oh, what's going on, guys? Glad to finally get on the live over here.
Nice.
Oh, I know. I haven't seen you forever. Plus, I haven't been with Dave and Dash, so
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, I came in a little late, so I'm not sure what topics you guys covered, but
okay.
Obviously, case is always a flashpoint, But I think
Yeah.
that one, unfortunately, I think's been talked to death. But I mean, just for me personally, if we're getting rid of, it looks like Sule's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, winger wise, what do you got? You got Yildiz, you got Weah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if Queso wants to stay on for a year, slight reduction in salary, and then hey, if he plays his way, back into the squad, plays better for the Nazionale, why not, right?
Yeah.
But otherwise, it kind of is what it is. The weird thing is there's so much going on right now. Like, we don't really know what the opening lineup's going to look like in 3.5 weeks against.
Yes.
We don't have Milik's going. Kane's already gone. We don't have Vice Vlahovic. So you got to address that need. You're definitely going to need at least another winger. I saw today, I think that Juventus made contacts with Yedemi. So could be. I mean, the fact that they waited until they sold Sule for that, that's great. I think Sancho's probably, at this point, it looks like he's more staying at Manchester than coming. But yeah, I think up front, it's funny because the whole midfield's getting revamped. So the midfield looks strong all of a sudden, and now we're looking a little thin, in the attack.
Yeah, we have another guest here. I think that it's Mike. 1 second. Hey, Mike.
Hey, it's Mike from New York.
Mike from New York. How's it going, my friend?
Yeah, the Chiesa fan. Very good, very good.
Oh, the Chiesa fan, of course.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming, Mike.
Geographically, I think we're all covered, right? You got New York. I'm in Southern California. And you guys are what? Both? You guys are both in Canada, right? And West
Yes.
Coast? West.
I'm in Toronto, so I'm East Coast.
East and you're
So
west.
I'm in the East Coast. and you're on the
Vancouver.
So we got East and West Coast of most of North America right now.
That's it. Yeah.
I know, it's surprising. It's like 11 o'clock your guys' time, and you're still on my live. I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for me, I think I'm your time, Reno. It's about 8:30 almost over here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But Mike and Anthony,
Yeah,
yeah,
Mike
and
and
some people on the chat,
It's
The
around
true-
11:30 here.
Yeah.
11:30. So, Mike, I know me you've been back and forth. Let me know your thoughts with this Chiesa, because like I said,
Well,
Chiesa's not going to end. So, with the conversation, go ahead.
The thing is, I think that the team really needs depth. Now, if they're going to sell Sul and that maybe Chiesa, there's no depth on the wing, and like you were saying, Tony, we have 5 competitions.
Yep.
So I mean, Giuntoli, I think, I mean, this could be all press and whatnot, but to me,
Okay.
it seems like he's got to be more of a negotiator. But then again, we'll see what happens.
Mm. Yeah, we have to wait and see.
I think
They're
the
selling
one-
to. Go
No,
ahead.
I gotta say, the one thing I like about Giuntoli that we definitely didn't see with Paratici is he knows how to sell.
Yeah.
The deal that he did for Moise Keane at Fiorentina was amazing. That's more than I ever thought, that we would get for him. The Illing valuation, the Balanachea valuation with Aston Villa when they were doing the Luis deal, I thought those were fair amounts.
Yep.
Could have got more for Sule, but he didn't want to go to EPL. He wanted to stay. He wanted to stay in Italy. Roma was the most interested in him. And in the end, if he does as well as we think, let's say for the people who were pro Sule, for me, I was agnostic about it. But for the real pro Sule people who thought that we were really getting rid of a talent, let's say he does do well. We'll hit the 30 million guaranteed because he'll hit the easy bonus and the hard bonus. And then if Roma does sell him to another club because he's outperforming, you're getting 10% of that. That's going to be, it could go anywhere up to like 50 million for him. And then you also have to understand too, Sule was only on the books for 1 million.
Yep.
As it stands right now, that's 29 million of plusvalenza. That's amazing. And then with Huijsen, if he's going, I think they valued him at 18 mil plus bonus. He's on the books for 300,000. Like these are good moves, and and we're still not in a very strong financial situation. So the fact that you can make all these moves, you can get that plusvalenza, right, and that helps you more for funding, hopefully more in the future. This is a crazy. I haven't seen a Mercato like this in quite a while. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, yeah, we're going to have to lose some, but with the next gen, you got to think about it like this. You're going to keep the really good ones. You're going to keep the gems. You're going to keep the ones with with the most potential. And the other positive is you can, if the players play well, like a Sule or whatever, whether it was at Juve or mostly at Frosinone, Huijsen at Roma, then you get good plusvalenza there. Or you can add them as part of deals to pick up, other players to bring the price down. Because who do we still have left with that were part of next gen? Yildiz,
Moretti,
right?
Miretti,
Fagioli, right? So you do have next gen representation on the first team.
Yeah. And there's a couple of kids that will be playing this season, and we'll get a fair look. I know I keep hearing the name of I think it's Nicolo Savona. He's a defender. Apparently, they're really high on this kid, so I'm curious to see him get some game time, even if it's in the Coppa Italia or just I'll be interested to see him. I know you mentioned Adzic,
who's been getting rave reviews.
Another just gem they pulled out of Montenegro, so I mean, like he's going to get a lot of time as well. Yeah, so it's funny you mentioned Sal. Actually, I was gonna say, like you mentioned about we have not had a a mercato like this in a long time. Giuntoli
I
is
said that at the
essentially
beginning.
he's essentially overturned the entire roster in a month and a half since the offseason because there's still work to do. But like Santino's mentioning here, you get Coop Miners. To me, that's an A-plus Mercato right there, not to mention all the other deals you've already done with Douglas Luiz, Kefren Turam, if Todibo comes in. But it's the outgoings as well. And I think, for me, I've been more impressed with the outgoings as opposed to the
Yes.
incomings, just because, incomings, yeah, you got to raise, you got to have some funds, you got to have some money, but he's really putting his stamp on this team by the outgoings. And again, we'll see what happens on the field, especially with Mota and his style. But there's a lot to look forward to, that's for sure.
My big concern is there's so many new players, not even just from Serie A, from different guys coming in from Ligue 1. You got guys coming in from the Prem, right? It's gonna take a while. And what? Luis comes on the 30th, so you're gonna have maybe 2.5 weeks, and who knows?
Yeah.
And if you can get that done, and you get Todibo or what have you, Di Gregorio, a whole new team. I don't expect us from day one when the season starts to really be like a complete project. Like Mota's got a big job on his hands. It takes a while.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
It takes a while, So
Well, we're gonna wait and see because, like Anthony said, like I said at the beginning, I'm happy as well. Sorry, the background because my son is crying because
No,
even
it's okay.
Pascal is like a little Arazzo is very talkative today. Yeah, he is. So I'm trying to go back and forth with my mic. And guys, you have any other questions? Let's see. Santino, Di Gregorio is a good pickup. He was the best goalkeeper in Serie A this past season. Well, I'm happy about him too. So let's wait and see. Then we have Matteo. There's going to be growing pains for sure. Now just have to be patient. Like I always say, we have to be patient because till 5 years ago, the last 5 years, it was brutal. Now that we have this Mercato, that Giuntoli got it done right away before the Mercato, and we're seeing some new faces. Let's be calm and we'll be back on track, guys. That's all.
Well,
What about you guys?
Well,
Go ahead.
I just wanted to. We're actually trying to build a squad, whereas in the past couple of years we were trying to keep on competing for Champions League when we weren't even that good with Paratici, and then we had all the debacle like the off season the past year. This one is a fresh rebuild, I think, and as opposed, like I said, to past years where we weren't really even Champions League team, but we were trying to be all that and we weren't. And now we're just going to be a fresh rebuild. And I'm not saying we're going to win anything this year, but it's more of a positive
I
vibe.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
positive. People still complaining when you're in team, you're complaining, but come on.
Yeah.
It's like, really, if you complain now, that's...
So think that because you have that pressure, right? Have to, Champions League qualification is a requirement. There's no other option. You're playing with all these other competitions, high profile competitions, right? That's why I think you're seeing some of the more next gen guys go, and you're bringing in established quality players, because even if it takes a while to gel, you're hoping that the quality of the players while that's happening keeps you competitive, especially in the beginning. So it makes sense. I get it. Like, hey, I like having the young guys, show what they're made of as well. But you can't have a whole team full of prospects. You need some proven quality in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because like I said at the beginning of the chat, a lot of so-called Allegriani are saying, oh, nobody's complaining that they took off all the young players, but if Allegri was there, people complain. I said to one of these guys, is it possible you guys cannot stop talking about Allegri? He's gone, okay? They're getting rid of, at least we get Coop Miners, I'm happy, but there's a reason why we're getting rid of them. And always this name brings up, I said, guys, just enjoy these games and shut up, That doesn't end.
with Mota, and the one thing with Allegri is Allegri did not make players better, right?
Exactly.
Mota is going to make players better. So I'd say like Moretti had an off year. He's going to push these players, and I think for
Yeah,
Jolie, from you saw him play one game, right? And he was rusty, and he looked like he played 20 games. So he's going to push these kids, and that's a good thing.
yes.
And it's good. And
But
it's
people are never happy.
yeah. But it's good to have that competition in the midfield, right? Because you're only really going to
Yeah,
have 3 of those guys starting. Let's say Koop Miners, with as much money as we're paying for him, he's a starter. Douglas Luiz, same thing. You'd expect at
a
least those.
starter.
Thuram, from what I'm hearing, is maybe,
Turam, I can't wait to see him.
but so's Locatelli, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see under Mota.
Want that competition, those guys to keep nobody feeling safe that you're a starter regardless, whether you had a good game or whatever. Like if you're having like, if you're in a lull and you're not performing, there's going to be a guy that's going to pop in right away, and when they get in that lineup, they're not going to want to get out. So that healthy competition, that depth that we've been missing for a while, especially like I said, mostly I would say in the midfield. And I think if Tadipo happens, we're pretty deep in terms of center backs. I don't know. You guys say I'm assuming if Tadipo comes, Danilo's going to move out on the wings. So I think he's going to be playing. He's going to be playing a fullback part, right? And then Gatti probably rotating with him. And then we just bought that other kid right now, Cabal. And then you have
Oh, that was a beauty, especially taking it from Inter. Oh man.
So you have some depth there already in the back 4. I think with Kumar come midfield looks good. It's just like kind of what I mentioned earlier. It's like what's the attack going to look like? That part
Yeah.
jury's still out.
Well, maybe you can put Cambiasso on the wing. Where possibly. You figure Deuce on the striker. You always can find some sort of backup striker. But if you look at like last year, we were getting destroyed in the midfield.
Oh yeah,
Destroyed. And I think that's what they're trying to do. He's trying to jump the lead. He wants to make that a solid midfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think probably the biggest difference we're going to see in terms of because last year you couldn't string 3 passes together. It was
yeah.
And the blueprint for the opposing teams was the same: press, keep everybody under pressure, and it would happen week after week, and you couldn't adjust. For Mota, I'm not expecting like a high flying offense where we're scoring ridiculous amounts of goals because I think and Juventus pretty much had around the same in goals and goals conceded. It was pretty similar. I think the biggest difference you're going to see is more possession, and more
Calcio.
Us doing the pressing. Right?
Yes. More Calcio, I hope.
Yeah.
No Cortomuso.
I can't. I don't understand how professionals can't pass. It boggled my mind.
I don't blame you, man. It's gonna be a very interesting
and these
year
guys,
for us.
They're big. They're destroyers. Thuram, Luis.
Oh
these guys
man,
are huge. They're you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a very physical. It's gonna be a very physical midfield, but you're gonna have the physicality with an uptick in quality. I think that's going to be the thing that's going to be the most interesting to see. Because honestly, like if you could have like a good striker, you could have a good central defender, but everything runs through the midfield. Everything runs through the midfield. If you don't have quality in the midfield, you're screwed. I mean, Inter, right? They had the best Serie A by far, and guess what? They had this thing locked up pretty early, last season. And it's not a mistake. When Napoli, when they had their fluke run, they had a great midfield. Really, really good. So that's sort of where I'm hoping we're going to be. We don't have the chemistry that Inter's midfield has. They played together for a while. They know each other fairly well. It's going to take Juve time to develop that understanding. But once that gets there, we're going to be a problem for everybody.
Yeah, because we have Pasquale, he's Interista. He's sportive sometimes. if Juventus land Cup Minors in ADM, they are a serious contender for the Scudetto, hands down. Yeah, we'll see, Pasquale. I guess me and you, we're going to go back and forth on WhatsApp, on Facebook. Because you know me, when to start to see, especially against you guys, Cartonati, we're coming for you. Now it's going to be very interesting. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Do you guys have any other questions to come? No?
See you again,
Mike,
Reno.
you're. What's
I
that?
just think
Good to
I
see
think
you.
that Inter. I'm sorry, yeah, Antonio.
No, go ahead,
Sorry,
Mike.
sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say as far as the top four, maybe I say Inter's still the team to beat. You know, with Napoli, I think Conti's there to prove something, and this time we have potential, and we're kind of just sitting there waiting in the wings, so we can prove, and no one's expecting us to do anything.
Hmm.
Where the other teams, Napoli and Inter, they're expected to win.
Yes. It's gonna be a tight season, I believe. Then Milan, we'll see how Milan goes, but I don't see them too far. But I could be wrong. What about you guys? At Trimboli, you got anything else?
No, we pretty much touched on everything. I mean, yeah,
Everything.
it'll be interesting to see what happens on the field for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, just Juve's obviously made quite a lot of changes in a positive way. New coach, new mentality, new mindset. So that's going to be a big thing. So I can understand why some of the opposing fans are probably a little bit skeptical and kind of worried in a sense. But again, we got to go out there on the field and prove it. But to Sal's point earlier, like there's going to be some growing pains. So for me, nothing but excitement looking forward to this year. Like I said, I'm a big Coop guy. He's always been my number one target. So if and when he gets here, getting his jersey for sure, and I'll be riding that train and just hoping for the best,
And the bottles of champagne pumping.
Yeah. Well, no, that's it. We got to get to the end of the season first and hopefully finish where we want to be. And then
they will do a big party here at
Yeah.
the Calcio with Reno Z.
Yeah.
Anthony Lafleur, like I told you, Reno, I will give Fonseca patience to see what he can do with this team. I'm not trying to put you down, Anthony. If he proves me wrong, fine. But like I said, I don't know about these guys. I'm not a big fan of Fonseca. Don't tell me again Juve's target is fourth spot for the Champions League after this Mercado, I hope. I did not say it. I haven't given my predictions yet, but I keep my mouth shut. I don't know. I still say second place. Then we'll see at the end. It's hard for me to say that we're winners to the Scudetto, Pasquale. So I just want to see what's going to happen in Campo. Of course, James has to give me a hard time with the Prosecco. Yeah. Still this going on, James. I prepare a nice bottle of champagne for the winner of Scudetto. Cup Miners and Rabiot leaving. And what happened to France, James? Oh, viva la España. Okay, I understand this, but I will see with Fonseca. No problem. No problem, Anthony. So I'm gonna close it up, guys. Thank you for joining. I know once again it become a Juventus show, but hey, I put the link on. Milanisti, Interisti, you're more than welcome. Hope to see other faces. Sal, thanks for coming. It's been a long time that we haven't been doing live. Then Mike, thanks again. If you ever want to come, maybe we can keep in touch. I'll put you in. Or maybe the next time, hoping that the baby is quiet, I'll do another call in. And Mr. Tremblay, my vice president, it's always a pleasure to have you back. Thanks again. Until then, the comments doesn't end here. Till then, guys, bada bim, bada boom. Forza Juve e a casa tutti. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, guys.
All right. Good night, guys.